right, guys. So we just watched episode 6 of The Defenders, and
God.
woo, that one was pretty fucking good.
Oh, you want me to start from backwards?
I don't know what you just said. At least having a stroke.
I want to start at the ending and work our way backwards, because holy shit, something happens at the end of this episode.
Alexandra gets stabbed and decapitated.
We can't bury the lead here, Stefan. We should just tell him.
Stabbed and decapitated
Something
by
crazy,
Elektra.
a betrayal. She must have ducked down and rushed back in, and all three of them must not have reacted because they were staring right at Alexandra. She was giving her speech. No one went, wait, what?
No, so Alexandra is dead.
Yeah.
Elektra has taken over. Elektra seems to be back to her old self.
I'm Elektra Nacho Gizmos.
Almost.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think she like remembers being Elektra, but also is also this new dark evil thing. And now she's a combination. Where she's like, she got like a perverse sexual pleasure out of decapitating that woman that gave her life.
Blood splattered in her face. She's like,
She's
what
like,
up?
and then she's like, any questions?
Yeah.
and they're all like Bond henchmen, like fucking all right, yeah, whatever. You're the man now.
You're the man now, dog.
You got the hat on now. You're fine.
Yeah. So Elektra has killed Alexandra. Stick is dead, also by Elektra's hand.
Yeah, Elektra's cleaning house.
Elektra's just knocking out the bodies, and I'm like, all right.
Because she wants all the substance to herself to live like forever and ever and ever.
Maybe.
Is that the deal? I'm not clear about her motivations, but this was unexpected.
No, I enjoyed it though. We knew Stick was gonna die for quite some time now. We thought
this was almost overdue.
His time was numbered. Stick though managed to fuck up pretty good before he died. Stick had, and like we kind of said, like he had always the option to kill an Iron Fist to not not
okay,
give
so
up that
like
key.
yeah, like either early in this one or last time, whatever the fuck, right? They're all like, "Oh, Danny, they want you. We gotta do something about you." And Stick was like behind him in like half the shots, with his sword like in stance. And I'm like, wait, does Stick want to fucking just kill him? Because he didn't say we should just kill him, but he was kind of like saying some shit, and they were debating some vague shit. And I'm like, I think Stick just wants to kill him.
So Stick makes like a knockout gas that knocks out Luke Cage for just long enough for Elektra to kill him.
Yeah, which is like victim of his own hubris.
I think it's so cool when he's fighting with, like, he finally comes to and he's fighting with Elektra. Elektra's swinging like swords. He's like fa-ting, fa-ting with his fucking hands.
Makes sparks and stuff.
Boss.
I thought about that, and I'm like, because one day they're gonna have someone who makes swords out of some crazy metal that like can hurt him, and he's blocking swords like with his wrists, basically. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a bad choice. Oh god, like use something,
There's
right?
no good choice.
Shit. Well, this this side has all the this side's
If you're swinging a sword that could actually cut through him, he'd be losing his hand.
It would just cut off the whole thing, right?
He's dead.
Yeah, I feel like it would just barely make it through, but he'd still be like, oh my god, I can bleed. The whole thing. Sweet Christmas.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten one Sweet Christmas all season.
I can't handle it.
It's happening. It's got to happen.
Too powerful. Now, this episode was good. We had a lot of good fights, a lot of good cool stuff. They had superhero fights as they struggle to tie him up.
Yeah, we got a little, like, same team fight, which is always neat, because they're pulling their punches a little bit. I dug that. We got, like, the popping off the fist and all the chairs go flying. Sure. Standing ovation. Yeah, I liked it. No, we were talking about, because it's like Daredevil without the helmet on. So it's like Matt Devil, like, fighting. Yeah. And then, like, when like, the sonic boom of, like, the fist, like fucks up his ears, and he's like, oh, shit. And I'm like, oh, this is so complicated. I love this.
No, it's cool.
All those little nuances,
They split up for a time period with Jessica Jones and Matt Murdock going out trying to get some intel from the lawyer. Not lawyer, the what do you call the guy who designs a building? Architect. They find like the cool stuff. They understand there's like a dome on the bottom of that tunnel or hole, what have you. And,
yeah, it's the old hide the blueprints in the piano trick.
Yeah, it seems like the dad was indeed going to blow that motherfucker up. He was not. Now
he wanted to collapse the dome under the building, it sounded like. And what's in the dome?
Well, I took it as it looked like there were 3 or rather 4 X's in the pillar.
There were like red things.
I thought she was just going to collapse the whole building down the hole.
In the hopes of like destroying whatever was on the bottom of it or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Implode the building, basically.
You know it.
That's a complicated procedure.
An architect would know how to do that, though.
You would think.
Well, he knows the structural weaknesses of what to destroy to really fuck shit up.
Implosion is complicated. I dig it, though. I like that whole sequence. That's where she, like, reveals, like, she's like, well, I had a friend once.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell the entire life story of this fucking guy right in front of him and fucking blow his fucking mind. Yep. And she even looks at him like, how blind is he? Will I be able to tell in his face that I just fucking blew his mind? And he's just like, because his mind is blown. He's like, holy shit.
Nice sequence.
I like that shit a lot. I like shit like that like makes me think like, wait, am I having a stroke, or did something just happen in, like, the thing? We keep mentioning me having a stroke. It's horrible. There was a scene in, like, Jessica Jones where, like, during that cop who's on, like, the super, drug or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's talking to, they show up, at the apartment. Trish is, like, weird, and he's like, why don't you just go back inside, and just says it twice, and, like, he doesn't flinch at all, and she makes a face like, uh-oh, like, what's going on? But at first when he says it, I got that same feeling of, like, wait, what's going on? Did I forget something? Did I fuck something up? Or is this really happening for the characters, too? Yeah, it was awesome. I'm like, are they supposed to know each other's story? No, she's fucking blowing his mind. All right.
No, that was actually a really cool sequence. Jessica Jones, again, was one of my favorite ones so far.
Yeah, and you don't want anyone to be like a chump.
Of course not.
You want everyone to have their moment of, like, I'm the man.
Yeah.
Or lady man.
What else happened in this episode worth a note? A lot, like, I feel like there was so much, but it was like meaty and condensed.
No, a lot of stuff took time. So, like, you had him, like, Luke Cage talking to Iron Fist, going back and forth, and then, like, in the background, he's, like, mixing his concoction, stick is. That was a good setup, because at a certain point it became clear something was off, and then he kind of goes, like, breathe it in, you big fucking idiot. All right. And then he's like, and, like, falling down, right? And you're like, oh, no, it was stick all along. And he's like, I can breathe this shit all day. Anyway, Danny, sorry I came to this. And fucking goes over there, and I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, no, that was great.
Because he couldn't see it. It couldn't hurt him.
Oh, no, because you can't see, you can't see knockout gas. No, he's been training for years, every day, and just some knockout gas. It has no effect on me. I don't know.
Yeah, Danny gets, like, the tiniest little hint, touches
he gets a tiny waft, just tickles the tip of his nose, and he's fucking, I love all those, like, analogies, like remember in, like, Spider-Man 2, I think, when he's like, I just can't seem to, like, do the thing. I can't, like, rise to the occasion, and, like, like the doctor draws, like, the impotence analogy, or like, whatever. I love people's powers when it's like, I have to be in the mood, but, like, not trying too hard. It doesn't always work. It's this weird thing where you're like, nah, that's good times. Like, can relate or whatever. Electra shows up and stomps everyone. That's the end of that whole thing.
Yeah, so, like, Daredevil hears Luke fall from, like, what seems like years away. We're like, where is he?
They were closer than we thought they might have been. It sounded at first it was like, wait, they're on the other side of the city, and he hears his head fall, and, like, he hears, like I know that head, and, like, runs across the city or something like that. But they're like, up the block or something. Yeah.
Just the same, pretty impressive to know that something was up. They got in the nick of time.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. But again, the crescendo of this episode was Alexander is dead. Who knows what's going to come, but we got 2 episodes left, and they're going to be super spicy.
The fingers are dropping like flies.
Yeah, so we got 3 fingers left.
There's 3 left. I think Gal's become this, like, institution, and she'll be here, like, forever.
Gal's the only one I really like.
Yeah, Bakuta's been around, but I don't love him, right? But
now, if Bakuta were to die again, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, well, he can't fake die either. And then there's this new guy. He's new, right? He wasn't in Daredevil season 1? Okay. I'm just making sure it wasn't so long ago I didn't forget his
He looks a lot like but again, like most of your Asian guys with the same haircut could fool me if they is that the same guy or is that someone else playing the same character?
Well, especially now it's like 3 years ago or something when we watched the original Daredevil.
But the guy I'm thinking of is like scarred up and...
No, he's not that guy. That's Nobu, I think. And I think he's not dead, though. Are they going to reveal that here? Who knows? I don't know. But
I thought they put him in a pot.
I thought they scooped him up at the end.
I don't know.
Or no. Did Stick take him out at the end? There was some button where it was like, oh, but I forget what direction it went in. We are dedicated to doing no show prep, and it fucking shows.
You prep anything if you could not prep anything?
Well, then it's not like a natural reaction. Sure. So early in this episode, though, I thought it was him not mentioning Elektra and him not being clear about Elektra, like when he said we used to date Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, well, they could have guessed that. That's not like some weird leap or whatever. But then when he says oh well, yeah, that building is built on the spot where we found this giant hole and got attacked by ninjas and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, what? That's the place? Because in episode 1, we both of us said, well, earthquake, and they found that giant hole, and now the hand's doing stuff, so this is obviously part of their plot.
I actually thought that was going to be the same building.
But that's fucking stupid that he didn't say anything. Oh, yeah, the building that we all went to, right? And the earthquake like 2 days ago or whatever, maybe something's happening down there. And then he's like, well, it felt like the hole was gone. What do you mean? What the fuck? It's not like Luke Cage's head. You can't just tell from just listening what's going on in there.
Or can you?
Yeah, Luke Cage's head is giant and empty.
Maybe there's a cap over it now with an elevator that goes down it.
Or something, right? Well, there's a big dome thing.
We're about to find out, I'm pretty sure. Either
we are about to find out.
Or at the very least, 2 episodes from now.
No, and shit's crazy. He doesn't want to kill, like, Elektra. But we're in this odd situation where Elektra remembers that she's Elektra, but also probably wants to win and like fight them. I think he was hoping, well, once she remembers she's Elektra, then we'll be back to where we left off, and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and stop trying to kill me and my friends.
Well,
and I think
I'm thinking Elektra will use those 3 idiots to get the thing she wants, and then probably kill those guys.
Not Gal, though. I think Gal will survive.
Well, she's gonna try to kill them.
Gal will slip away
into the shadows.
I have my ways.
How much longer can she even last without the substance?
I don't know. I feel like
she gets one more hit before she gets the road.
Just a little kicker.
A little bit.
Oh, that's cool. No, but so she's demonstrated that she's so much more powerful, Elektra, than anybody else. So she's already bested all of them, and they weren't like, squared off. They were all like, rushing in one at a time, or half gassed, or tied up, or whatever.
True.
But still, they didn't stand a fucking chance. So. This is nice when we're leading into like the like the last 2 episodes with stuff drawn like that, because then have to get creative and figure out what the fuck to do here.
It might be an actual good boss fight though.
With actual stuff.
I don't think it's gonna be. Because it's not gonna be the typical where it's like, like channeling for 4 hours while they like dodge bullets coming from like random things. I think it might actually be like a 4-on-1 good fight.
Yeah. Or do some stuff with them. Yeah, it's gonna be like a redo of like the other people, and then like Elektra's like the final boss.
Hopefully.
They're gonna do all their stuff.
No, we don't have to speculate too much because we can just go and watch it. So we'll check you after the next episode of Defenders. Let us know what you think about this episode, and we'll see you soon. Don't die in a fire.